Hi everybody, Bill Knutson here, New York Sports with an Attitude. Well, the nightmare that is the New York Mets continues again tonight. Horrible, down in Miami, very good chance we're going to lose this series. DeGrom pitches tomorrow. He had some sort of a family issue, so he didn't pitch tonight, so figured we didn't have much of a chance, and of course we didn't. But, he's going to pitch tomorrow. That'll probably be the only game of the three that we have a chance to win. But we'll see what happens. Like I said, the nightmare continues. We had this kid Oswalt making his first start. As soon as I heard he doesn't throw hard and he doesn't walk a lot of guys, of course he walked 2 guys in the first 2 innings. But I said, all right, he doesn't walk a lot of guys. That means he's going to have the ball, around the plate a lot. And he doesn't throw hard. That's not good. And of course it wasn't. Got through the first 2 innings and then gave up 6 runs before the 3rd inning even finished. So I wasn't surprised at all. A guy that doesn't throw hard and throws the ball around the plate, you know he's going to get smacked around. He went 2 2/3, gave up 6 runs. Game was over before the 3rd inning was over. But anyway, the guy going against him, Alcantara, first ever start in his major league career. First start for the Marlins, too, obviously, if it's the first start of his career. He has control issues, and he did again tonight. He pitched 5 innings. Mets got 5 walks off of him. 6 walks for the game. 6 walks, 7 hits. So 13 base runners, only got 2 runs. Typical. No clutch hitting. We've had very little of that this year. Not much offense, the last 2 months. And we didn't get any more tonight. And terrible pitching, which has been typical for, most of the year. And we got terrible pitching again tonight. I want to rant about a couple of things that were bothering me tonight. Frazier's on second base, right? Todd Frazier's on second. And pitch comes into the pitcher. To the catcher, I should say. Catcher picks him off at second base. I'm like, really? I mean, the play's right in front of you. The catcher has to throw the ball 127 feet. In case you didn't know, that's how far it is from home plate to second base in the major leagues. 127 feet. So, you get such a big lead. You're not far enough off second base to be able to make it to third, but you're too far to get back to second. That's just absolutely horrible, horrible base running for a major leaguer. 127 feet he has to throw it to get you out, and he got you easily. I'm like, you've got to be kidding. What is it with the guys in the major leagues that don't know how to run the bases? Something like that. Getting picked off by the catcher at second base. I see guys running the bases, looking over their shoulders to see where the ball is, instead of picking up the base coach that's in front of you. Of course, they teach you that in very low levels of baseball. Little league, ran the bases many times. Never looked behind me to see where the ball was. Looked in front of me to pick up a coach. That's just what you do. Guys, trying to score, coming around third, they go right through clear stop signs. They just keep running. I'm like, really? That's what the coach is there for. Coach puts a stop sign up, you stop. You do not look behind you, ever, under any circumstances. Are you looking behind you to see where the ball is? You pick up the coach in front of you. Teach you that in Little League. Never even crossed my mind. In the zillion times I've run the bases, I never looked behind me to see where the ball was. If the ball's in front of me, then I can make the decision whether I want to take the next base or not, based on, where the outfielder is, where the ball is, whatever. Not once did I ever look behind me to see where the ball was. Doesn't make me special, just means I know how to play. And obviously, some of these major leaguers don't. The one that kills me the most, though, the one I cannot stand the most, and though the ones I just mentioned absolutely drive me crazy, should never happen. You should never get picked off at second base by the catcher, ever, under any circumstances, should that happen. Never should you look behind you to see where the ball is, ever, while you're running the bases. They do it all the time. The one that really gets me the most, though, you hit a ground ball, right? You're trying to beat it out at first base, and you do a head first slide into first base, trying to beat the ball. It's been scientifically proven, which of course I've known ever since I was a kid, that is a much slower way to reach first base than running right through the bag. Always has been, always will be. As soon as you hit the ground, science has proven you're slowed by 20%. So you're much better off, 20% faster, by running right through the bag. Guys do it on a regular basis. The only time you dive into first base is if you're avoiding a tag, period. Under no other circumstances do you dive into first base. And I see guys doing it. Beating out ground balls, diving into first base, getting slowed up by 20%. But they do it all the time. Because a lot of professional athletes are dumb. I mean, it is what it is. They're there for their great athletic ability, not their intelligence. That seems to be more, maybe football, maybe basketball, I don't know. But a lot of them are there for their athletic ability. Because if it was brain power, they wouldn't be there. But that's what I was ranting about. I was so mad I wanted to throw something through the TV when Frazier got picked off at second by the catcher. Just drives me crazy when the guys can't do things you learn in Little League not to do or to do, and they don't do them. It just drives me crazy. And the latest thing, the last few years, and I saw it again several times from the Mets today, if you're a right-handed hitter, they pulled a big shift on you. They got everybody on the left side of the infield, and the Mets keep hitting the ball to the left side of the infield. Or if it's a left-handed hitter, everybody's playing on the right side, they keep hitting it to the right side. You have the whole side of the field open. Hit the ball through the hole that's open. I don't get it. Learn how to hit the opposite way. You're a major league hitter. They've got everybody lined up on your pull side. Hit the ball the opposite way. They keep pulling the ball right into the shift all the time. You very rarely do you see a guy either hit the ball the other way or bunt the ball. You've got the whole side of the field. Bunt the ball. If the situation calls for it, if you're the leadoff hitter or something, how about laying a bunt down? Do it every time. Every time. If you're leading off the inning especially, lay the bunt down. Well, guys can't bunt. What do you mean they can't bunt? They're in the major leagues. Learn how to bunt the ball. Learn how to play the game correctly. They're going to keep shifting on you and taking hits away from you, but they're begging you to get a hit. Bunt the ball that way, hit the ball that way, and they'll stop shifting on you eventually. But again, they're not smart enough to do it, or they won't put in the work to learn how to bunt or learn how to hit the opposite way, whatever. So those kind of things just irritate me, so I'm going to rant about those. All right, so my cousin Ed, up in Albany, New York, lifelong Yankee fan. I hate the Yankees, but I must give them respect. I mean, they are just doing things the right way. Back in the day with Steinbrenner, he just bought all the biggest names in the world and, managed to win a few championships that way. But there were a lot of years they didn't win the championship with him buying everything. But they're doing it the right way. I mean, just look at the guys they have on the field. They've got Judge and Sanchez and Torres and Gregorius and Betances. Those are all guys that, they're home growing through their system, and Judge, can't forget him. And then just to add to the misery of Yankee opponents, they go out and get Giancarlo Stanton. So the lineup is a nightmare to try and get through. They've got the perfect combination of young, talented kids with speed that hit for average, and then you've got the two-headed monster of Judge and Stanton killing you in the middle of the lineup. So they must have really good scouts, down in their minor league system. Where are the guys like that for the Mets? I mean, where does that happen? Back in the late 90s, when the Yankees had Jeter and Pettit and Rivera and all those guys at the same time. Homegrown. And then they sprinkle in, the solid veterans, and they ended up a dynasty. and they might be working on another one. Who knows? They lost Game 7 of the American League Championship last year. I think starting pitching was what kept them from beating Houston. I think that's their only weakness now. And the Yankees are talking to the Mets. And you know what the Yankees are talking to the Mets about, because we only have two pieces that are big-time trade pieces. You know, I'm hearing rumors about a couple of teams are interested in Wheeler. That's no big deal. I mean, you'll get a bag of baseballs back for Wheeler. You're not going to get it much for him. They're talking about DeGrom. They're talking about Syndergaard. And if the Yankees get one of them, good shot they're going to win the World Series. But, you know, I'm a big fan of both of those guys. I hope we can keep them and build around them, because if we trade them, we are never going to get anywhere near the value of what they are. I've said before, the team that gets the big-time player almost always wins the trade over, you know, getting prospects, because a lot of times prospects are busts. And I've heard the Yankees won't even talk about, you know, Gleyber Torres. So without Torres, I wouldn't talk to them at all. But as we continue to sink and sink and sink, you know, the season's long over. But, you know, that's the only thing that I think that's keeping the Yankees from having a serious shot at the World Series, another starter or two. And I get the feeling they might get one from the Mets, one of our big guys. But anyway, that was for you, Ed. You wanted me to talk about the Yankees, and as much as I'm not a Yankee fan, never have been, never will be, they are doing things the right way. They've got a great team. They've gone about it the right way. Homegrown guys, sprinkling in, obviously, a stud like Stanton and, you know, some other veterans, but they're doing it the right way. So I gotta tip my cap to them. I wish the Mets could figure out how to do half of what the Yankees are doing. The Yankees are going to be good for many years to come. And the Mets, I don't see anything that gives me hope. But I'll keep watching and hoping that I'm wrong. All right, another miracle for the Mets tonight. 3 of the 6 walks went to Rosario. Couldn't believe it. He only had 8 walks all year. I have several issues with Rosario. He swings like he's Judge or Stanton. He has this big power swing. He strikes out way too much, swings at way too many pitches that are not strikes, and he's not a power hitter. He's got speed. He has to work walks, hit the top half of the ball, stop with the uppercut, you know, monster home run swing. You are not a home run hitter. That's why your on-base percentage is about .260, which is horrifyingly bad. You've got good speed, cut down on the swing, hit the top half of the ball, take advantage of your speed, and learn how to walk. A miracle tonight. He only had 8 walks in the half a season. He got 3 tonight. You know, of course, we did nothing with him. We got 6 walks and 7 hits and scored 2 runs. But, you know, that's what he needs to do. He's a pretty good fielder. He's got speed, but he thinks he's a home run hitter. And he looks at so many strikes, as I've said before. Right down the middle, he lets those go, but he'll swing at pitches in the dirt or way inside or outside or high. He drives me crazy. So until he gets his swing right and stops, you know, trying to be a 50 home run guy, he's going to bat like .225. He's going to strike out a lot, and his on-base percentage will be low 300. But below 300, which is terrible. So until he learns, somebody's got to get with this kid and, you know, straighten him out. But anyway, you know, I do like the kid out of the bullpen, Tyler Bachelor. He's not a big guy, but he's got, you know, I don't know if it's an arm sleeve or it's just all tattoos, but his arm is totally tattooed. He's got kind of a tough look to him, and he's got good stuff. And like I've said before, what do we have to lose? The bullpen is terrible. You know, let this kid pitch. Let him close. I don't care. We don't have a good closer. Let Bachelor get in. I know he's only been in 2 or 3 games or whatever, but he's got good stuff. He's young. You know, he looks kind of tough. He doesn't look scared. Let him close. I don't care. We need to get rid of Familia. Either now would be great, but by July 31st, got to get rid of him. And like I've said, all the other deadwood, we must get rid of all the deadwood And I wish we could figure out how to not ground into so many double plays. We did it again tonight, 2 or 3 times, grounded into double plays. I mean, the game was over in the 3rd inning. We were down 6-0, but there have been several games where the game was on the line, and of course we'll hit into a double play and, you know, just let all the air out of the sail, and you can just feel it. But so many times we just let all the air out of the sail just by grounding into double plays. But, you know, like I said, top of the show, the nightmare continues. Terrible pitching, no clutch hitting. Same old, same old. We're very likely going to lose this series. Hopefully DeGrom will win tomorrow. But I think Matt is scheduled to pitch on Sunday. He's been pitching better. Maybe we got a shot, but not if the offense doesn't get to it. You know, good chance we can get swept if we don't get any offense. But we got DeGrom tomorrow. So I'm hoping his family issues are okay. I guess they are, because otherwise he wouldn't be pitching tomorrow. But anyway, I've griped enough. Same old with the Mets. What are you going to do? All right, subscribe to the show. You know, try and get your friends to watch. Whatever. So you can find out what's going on. Maybe I'll even throw in some basketball now that the free agency is about to start on Sunday. You know, with LeBron and all the big guys, even though it's not really New York sports, it's sports. I'll throw a couple of little things in there because, you know, my Mets aren't much to talk about unless it's negative. But, you know, like I said, subscribe to the show. I'd appreciate it. Let people know about it. All right, we'll come back Saturday, 4 o'clock for DeGrom. Hopefully the Mets will get it together. All right, that's all I got for tonight. Another disappointing loss. And in closing, thanks very much for watching. Have a great Saturday, and I'll see you next time.